Okay, so just there is my 5mm cell. It's not running the motor at the moment, it's stopped. Or, well, it's trying to run the motor, look. It's not a regenerating cell. At the moment, I'm trying to find out what makes it tick. I know what the mix is. This is my own mix, by the way. It's not anything of anything that you'd think that it was, really. There's no real electrolyte in it as such. In fact, that I would gladly eat it. Not the carbon fibre weave or my nanofibers, obviously. So this is kind of an introduction to this cell. It is literally a 5mm cell on a piece of carbon fibre weave, about as big as that one, really. And it ran for quite a while. Watch the video. What I've decided to do is move away from my 1cm cell, okay, and go for a 5mm cell, as in 5mm square. It's about 5mm, you know, give or take half a mil here and there. So yeah, there's a fair bit of carbon fibre weave there, but I don't need it because it's there's nothing on it. It's just bare. That's just bare weave there, you know. But this is the voltage. If I can get a proper connection, it's about 1.3, 1.4 volts. So that's that bit. I'm just going to see if it spins the motor now. And yes, it does. So what I'll try and do is get a clip on that for now, I think. No separator again. Away he goes. Now, there's a bit of a mix going on there. I've just kind of formulated this one using 3 components. Now obviously there is no separator there. You can see the carbon there. There it is. And there's no separator. It's kind of something I've formulated, you know. So I'm going to give this some thought and some testing and whatnot, and then perhaps I'll tell everyone what it's all about. But obviously, what I'm going to try to do now, I think, instead of making these large style cells, is I think the way forward is to go small first and then build it up, because I'm coming to realise that you don't need a big piece of magnesium like that. It's just the way you formulate things. Now I have to say that there, I would put that in my mouth. No problem at all. And there are no salts, no acids, nothing like that. So food for thought. I mean, I would eat this. I don't know about the carbon fibre weave, my nano wires, as I now call them. What I need to do is synthesize this down now, as fine as I can get it. And I know how to do it, so I'm going to have a go at that next in my blender. So once I've done that, I think my aim there is to come up with something like my spongy activated carbon with no separator. So that's carbon fibre weave now. That's not we haven't got two metals, so it's back to my weave that I've always used. So it's just that, a piece of that, and a little pinch of that. That's all it is. And it's spinning the motor. So, the 5mm cell. Sad that I don't know how long I was talking for then, but obviously the motor is still running. So we're just going to have to see what goes on. I'm just going to nip off to the shops at the moment. If you can hear something fizzing away in the background, that's because there is something fizzing away in the background. I'm trying to make some copper 1 and then turn it into copper 2. So that's what that's all about. And that sort of goes back really to that air battery, the magnesium and copper mesh air battery. If I could find some bits of it, I would show you what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, there's the mesh I used. So basically, instead of oxidizing that, I just wanted to redesign the battery again using my copper oxide, my copper 2. So that's that 5mm cell motor. And if you're thinking there's anything connected to those, there isn't. That lead there is connected up to the current meter, and that black one is connected to nothing. So there you go. A 5mm cell. Well, I've got to say it, I've just been to the shops and I've come back, and that motor is still running on that 5mm cell. How about that? I guess that's been on now for a good half an hour easily. So get some of this into the blender, I think. Try and get a nice smooth coating on that on the weave, and make a better battery if we can. I mean, there's not much of this mix underneath that, I can tell you that now. If we've got 1 mil under that. Now this is not a solid state as such cell because it's wet, but I do intend to dry this mix out and try it as a solid state cell. It may or may not work, I don't know yet, but I'll give it a go. I'm still going, obviously. It's slowed down a little bit. You can't see the magnesium there because that's how big it is, and that, I'll get the focus, is my little fingernail next to it. So that there is a 5mm piece of magnesium, so that's why I'm calling it the 5mm cell. Interesting to just check the voltage on this at the moment, so we'll do that. Okay, 285 millivolts. So we've got almost 0.3 of a volt. And there you go. That motor should stop at 0.2. So I'm just going to let it go, see what happens.